You know, Angel Reese doesn't like Caitlin Clark. Go back to when she won a national title. She didn't celebrate with her teammates. She mocked Caitlin Clark. So there's jealousy there. I certainly see that with her. I don't know about the league.
Did you catch what Dan Patrick said about Angel Reese? He claimed she's jealous of Caitlin Clark and the attention Clark is bringing to the WNBA. Reese recently suggested that fans are tuning in because of her, not Clark, and Patrick didn't let that slide. He pointed to Clark's Time magazine cover as proof of her growing influence, while also noting that some people were asking, why not Angel Reese instead?
By this. But there's nothing wrong with admitting that you watch a sport because of one singular person. People watched golf because of Tiger.
Dan Patrick recently stirred things up by saying Angel Reese is jealous of Caitlin Clark's rising stardom in the WNBA. Reese claimed fans are tuning in because of her, not Clark, but Patrick pushed back, pointing to Clark's Time magazine cover as a sign of her real impact.
I think that she's benefited. The WNBA has benefited from Caitlin Clark and the publicity. She's the one who has to answer these questions, though, after games.
Dan Patrick didn't just comment. He zeroed in on something Angel Reese said herself. While most people are crediting Caitlin Clark for the WNBA's boost in viewership, Reese is telling a different story. She claims she's the reason new fans are tuning in and ratings are rising. Patrick challenged that, pointing to the overwhelming attention Clark is getting, including her recent Time magazine cover.
People are pulling up to games. We got celebrities coming to games, sold out arenas, just because of one single game. And just looking at that, I'll take that role. I'll take the bad guy role, and I'll continue to take that on and be that for my teammates. And if I want to be that, and I know I'll go down in history, I'll look back in 20 years and be like, yeah, the reason why we watching women's basketball is not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that.
Dan Patrick cut through the noise like a seasoned reporter spotting a pattern. What makes his take stand out is how he connected the dots in this growing drama, both on and off the court. He pointed out that during a recent post-game interview, right after Caitlin Clark broke another attendance record, reporters asked Angel Reese about it. But instead of acknowledging Clark's role, Reese quickly shifted the focus to herself and her own influence on the league. To Patrick, that wasn't just a one-off. It looked like a deliberate move, part of a bigger pattern where Reese downplays Clark's impact while boosting her own.
Now, you can't factor in that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese don't have a good relationship, and Angel Reese has mocked Caitlin Clark, has roughed up Caitlin Clark a couple of times.
The way Dan Patrick broke it down, it's clear he sees Angel Reese struggling with Caitlin Clark's massive impact on the WNBA. And when you look at the facts, it's hard to ignore. Clark joins the league, and suddenly arenas are packed, TV ratings are soaring, and the media can't get enough. That kind of spotlight creates a tough situation for anyone trying to position themselves as the face of the league, especially when the attention seems to be shifting so heavily in one direction.
But make no mistake about it, Caitlin Clark is the reason why everybody has an opinion on what happened in that game. It's Caitlin Clark.
This isn't just a one-time thing. Dan Patrick pointed to several moments where Angel Reese tried to take credit for the WNBA's growth, most notably right after a sold-out game in Chicago. Instead of acknowledging the broader buzz, Reese claimed her social media following was the reason for the packed arena. But the numbers tell a different story. Ticket sales spiked the moment Caitlin Clark declared for the draft. This back and forth is starting to feel like a chess match. While Clark's popularity seems to rise naturally, Reese appears to be making calculated moves to stay in the spotlight and shape the narrative in her favor.
WNBA has been around a couple of decades, and people didn't notice the game. They're noticing it now. Well, that's because of Caitlin Clark, not Angel Reese. Angel Reese has played a role in this, and she's a very good player. But there's nothing about her game that's really interesting that is going to translate to people who may not watch the WNBA, may not care about basketball. She is a social media star, and she is capitalized on.
Dan Patrick painted a sharp contrast between the two stars. He described Angel Reese as a savvy social media personality who's playing a calculated game, while Caitlin Clark stays focused on letting her game do the talking. According to Patrick, Reese knows exactly what she's doing, stirring controversy to stay in the headlines and keep her name trending. It's all part of building her brand. She's not just playing basketball. She's playing the social media game and cashing in on the rivalry along the way.
Angel Reese stays in the news. If Angel Reese was going into the WNBA and Caitlin Clark, no one would care. She'd be like, "Oh, okay, that woman's really good on the offensive boards." I mean, that's really what.
Interestingly, Dan Patrick believes Angel Reese has intentionally leaned into the villain role, a smart business move that sets her apart from Caitlin Clark and keeps both names in the spotlight. By creating contrast, Reese ensures the rivalry stays front and center. But there's more to it. Patrick suggests Reese understands something important. Clark's ability to draw fans simply through her on-court talent is rare. So instead of competing in the same way, Reese is carving out her own lane, one built on media savvy, bold personality, and brand strategy.
But I think Angel Reese is jealous of Caitlin Clark. She thinks she's, the reason why this is all happening here. Caitlin Clark was going to get eyeballs whether she played against Angel Reese in LSU or not, because we had not seen anything like this before.
According to Dan Patrick, the jealousy angle comes down to something simple. Caitlin Clark doesn't need drama to shine. Her talent speaks for itself. She's earned her spotlight purely through her performance on the court. Angel Reese, on the other hand, has built her platform in a different way. She's undeniably talented, but her rise has been fueled just as much by her bold personality and this ongoing rivalry. Patrick's take is that Reese has had to use different tactics, leaning into controversy and image to stay in the conversation, while Clark's game alone keeps her front and center.
Got all of this exposure. She's getting endorsements because she's unique. It's like Steph Curry's unique, Tiger Woods' unique. Not everybody gets it just because, hey, I put in 10 years in the WNBA or the PGA Tour or the NBA. It doesn't work that way. It's supply and demand. Do they want to buy your shoes or do they not? Do they want to play your basketball? Do they want to play with the Wilson? I mean, that's what this is about.
Dan Patrick made an interesting comparison between Angel Reese and Draymond Green, and it revealed something more calculated about Reese's approach to her WNBA career. Patrick suggests Reese is actively trying to craft a persona similar to Green's, becoming the women's basketball equivalent of the NBA's most infamous instigator. Just like Green, Reese seems to be building her brand not on her playing style, but on stirring up controversy.
Reese wants to be Draymond Green. She's more Dylan Brooks. Like, she's trying to be an instigator. She goes out of her way to criticize Caitlin Clark. So if you factor all of this in, that's when people have opinions that aren't basketball related.
Dan Patrick didn't hold back, calling Angel Reese out as an instigator who's purposely crafting a villain persona in women's basketball. He drew a direct comparison to Draymond Green, who's built his entire brand around being the bad guy, the one who gets under his opponent's skin. Patrick believes Reese is following the same blueprint, with Caitlin Clark as her primary target. Patrick pointed to several on-court moments that show this pattern in action, highlighting one play where Reese seemed to hit Clark in the head during what was supposed to be a block attempt. According to Patrick, this wasn't just a fluke. It's part of a bigger strategy, using physical intimidation to rattle Clark specifically.
Yep, across the head, and they will go to the monitor to review this one.
Yeah, that's right.
Patrick sees these actions as calculated moves, designed to provoke reactions and grab headlines. Much like Draymond Green has mastered the art of physical play that often skirts the line. In Reese's case, she seems to be using the same playbook in her interactions with Clark, aiming to generate maximum attention while facing minimal fallout.
So she's sort of embraced a Draymond Green role here. But the eyeballs on the WNBA really have to do with Caitlin Clark.
Patrick's assessment reveals a clearer strategic angle behind Reese's approach. The villain role isn't just about drama. It's a calculated career move. Just look at Draymond Green. His controversial persona has made him more marketable than many players with better stats. By embracing the bad guy role, Green has landed endorsements and media deals that have boosted his career. Reese seems to recognize this same opportunity. By positioning herself as the antagonist to Caitlin Clark's hero, she ensures that she's part of every conversation about the rising star of women's basketball. It's a smart market strategy in a league where visibility directly leads to opportunity.
Embrace the villain. She understands social media. She's done quite well. She is literally cashed in. But her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark.
Embracing the villain role comes with both ups and downs. While it can grab quick attention, it also risks overshadowing true athletic achievements. Take Draymond Green, for example. His technical fouls and suspensions often steal the spotlight from his exceptional defense. Similarly, Reese's antagonistic tactics might shift focus away from her own skills, like her rebounding and scoring abilities. Patrick clearly lays out the power dynamic. Reese is deliberately playing the bad guy to Clark's good guy because controversy sells. She's using their rivalry to boost her visibility and marketability, riding the wave of attention Clark generates.
Angel Reese always comes off as the victim. And she's leaning into being, the bad guy. Here she is post-game.
For inside, I think we were playing really hard. I think we went up really strong a lot of times and we didn't get a lot of calls. And going back and looking at the film, I've seen a lot of calls that weren't made. I guess some people got a special whistle.
Okay, special whistle. She's referring to Caitlin Clark.
If there was any doubt about Patrick's argument, the next piece of evidence sealed it. When Time magazine put Caitlin Clark on their cover, a moment that should have been a major win for women's basketball, it became the perfect example of Reese's jealousy. Instead of celebrating the milestone, the immediate reaction from some corners of the basketball world was, "Where's Angel Reese?" This question, Patrick argues, confirmed everything he'd been saying. Rather than universally celebrating Clark's achievement, the focus shifted to Reese's absence, which Patrick sees as clear proof of her rivalry-driven strategy.
Something clicked with the WNBA, and it's because of the draft of the players that came in. It's just not Caitlin Clark. It's Reese. We have so much talent out there that has been unrecognized, and I don't think we can just pin it on one player.